Okay, so um, back to the witchcraft stuff. You was convinced that this man fixed
Yeah,
you.
I was convinced. I was like, I don't believe in this stuff, but something is really wrong with this picture.
Hmm.
And then when this person comes back and he says to me, you know, baby, I love you. Why would I do something like that? Da 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 da, whatever. So you put my mind at ease, and I'm at calm, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, maybe he is being honest. Maybe he is telling the truth. You know, here's somebody that I dated all these years. Obviously, he wasn't that honest with me.
After the marriage, after the wedding, you left the Bahamas. What happened to you after you left the Bahamas?
He had an office in Virginia, and
Office for what?
it was the Royal IE Foundation. Basically, I tell you, you know.
Not the embassy to IE Kingdom.
No, it was a foundation that he got medical supplies and funding and whatever else. He started a clinic back in Togo. He would do, and these are things that I saw. This isn't what I was told. I mean, I actually helped and assisted with certain things. I think the big downfall, and that was one of the things because I felt he had a really really good
Yeah,
heart.
they used charities to launder money. Yeah, but
Really,
you should
see,
see.
I was just like really really
You
naive and
naive.
green.
Yeah, I like you. Yeah, we could
You know,
take good
just
advantage
believe
of.
whatever. Look, I don't believe it no more, but just believe whatever because you want to believe. You know what I'm saying? You want to believe that. And let me tell you, anyway.
Did you ever live in Togo?
Hold on, let her tell a Virginia story because there's a lot of rumors with that too. They said you lived in this basement.
I did.
On
That's not a
mattress.
rumor.
Tell us your story.
That's not a rumor. My experience in Virginia, I really, I'm not really fond of whatever. I was there when 9/11 happened, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not really fond of it. But yes, my ex-husband didn't have any money. You know, he didn't have any means to support me as his wife.
But that's the king.
Let alone himself. I know what he's supposed to be. A lot of people, like I said, got involved in giving this man money to clear funds. I don't understand all that. I don't know why you got to take money to clear funds. What's already there?
You
Why
never
the
get
funds
none of them
can't clear?
emails on the internet. Eh?
No, I've never gotten them. I mean, and I've seen documents. You know what I'm saying? I've been to the bank in Togo. I don't understand. I don't know if we was just stupid and he was just so smart, or he's the stupid one. I'm still confused about it. You know, this man now is in Europe somewhere. Okay, did he take all these people's money? Did he take all their money and he had it in one bank somewhere in Europe? Or was he just stupid enough to believe all the people that kept saying the people that were supposed to be in charge of transferring funds to this part of the world, did he believe all these people? I don't know. It's just a really confusing situation. When somebody from my country tells me I actually saw it, I actually went to the holding place. I actually was there. I saw the cases of money. So why that money can't clear itself? Why that money can't be used to clear?
Time really ain't gonna allow us, right? We really would love to get into all of this, right? But there's still a few other stuff that people tell us a little bit more about how you was treated in this marriage.
Back to Virginia, sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, it got to the point where the place that was supposed to be where the office was, we lived in the basement. I actually had cords around an area to kind of block off a space where the bed was, and it was just really, for me, I thought I was going to lose my mind in that. I thought I was going to lose my mind in that. I mean, you sleep in and you've got all these pipes and stuff making all these horrendous noises and crickets jumping all over your bed, and you're not quite sure how anything is going to get paid, or when you're going to be on the street, kind of thing, or when somebody going to come and kill you because your husband took all their money. And that's when it got to the point for me where God opened an opportunity for me to come home. It wasn't a really good, one of my family members got sick, and that was a wonderful excuse for me to be able to just come home.
You needed an excuse?
I just needed to say, listen, I got to go home because XYZ has happened. I need to go home. I came home and I never went back.
How was your physical relationship? Sex? Romance?
We had sex. We
How
made
was
love.
How was it?
Certain times it was the bomb.
I'm saying it again?
Certain times it was good.
Uh-huh.
And certain times I just didn't want to be bothered because of the stress and because of the situation that was going on. I mean, for a woman, it ain't all in the body, it's in the mind kind of thing. So there were certain times, and then I just, when certain spiritual things started happening, I thought to myself, I don't want to be a part of this because this is just really frigged up. This is messed up. Who is this man? Who is this man? And when you are a believer or you're a very spiritual person, you see things in dreams, certain things happen, you experience certain things. I had somebody call me from the Bahamas who did not have a clue what was going on to give me a word and tell me if I didn't do XYZ, my life was at stake. And I'm like, you know what? Because my ex-husband said certain things. He didn't care if certain things happened. There were people who were involved, back in his village, voodoo priest, et cetera, et cetera. All this stuff was going on. Like if God was going to do it, God was going to do it. But you're not going to wait for God to do it. You're going to allow whatever, by whatever means, because you're so frustrated, you're so upset, let whatever spiritual means necessary that you think will work for you. The same way I feel that I got into that situation was by spiritual means. I mean, when you have a whole lot of people fasting, the Word of God tells you more things are brought about by prayer and fasting than you can imagine. So you have all these people all over the world fasting for this woman, and so many things came out after I had come home while I was going through a divorce. People would pull me aside and would say, this is what he said to me, or this is what happened. And I'm like, why didn't y'all pull me aside? Why didn't somebody knock on my door and say XYZ? So I don't really know.
So you didn't leave him as a romance. You didn't leave him because he had many wives and he.
No. I didn't leave him because he
schemed
had
on
many
you.
wives. I didn't leave him because he schemed on me. I left him because I felt like I was going to lose my mind. And there was somebody who I felt really just deceived me. You told me a lot of things that were supposed to be. Even when it came to the kingship, there was a lot of controversy, even in his own country, amongst his own people.
Do you blame Dr. Miles for all of this because he introduced you to him?
No, I don't blame him.
Has that ever crossed your mind?
I'm an adult. I make decisions. Yes, Dr. Miles was he was the person by whom I met Francois. I think a lot of things could have been handled differently.
But didn't Dr. Miles advise you not to marry him?
No,
No?
no,
That's a rumor.
that's a rumor.
So why didn't y'all get married at that church, which was your church?
Bahamas Faith Ministries had a meeting with us, and this was, the $1 million check, et cetera, the whole 9 yards. And I think it was either a week or two before the wedding, they sent a letter to us saying that they were not going to be able to hold the wedding. They didn't think that they would be prepared in enough time. And I think a lot of concerns were about libations and different cultural, traditional things that might happen that they would be uneasy with. I don't want to point fingers at anybody. I just think that a lot of things could have been done differently. A lot of the
And
way that it was
Golden Gates
handled,
Assembly was going to allow all this stuff.
they did allow it. And I think Dr. Ross I don't think that he's aware. I mean, we are people of the African diaspora, right? We have the strong connection, we say, to Africa. This is our motherland. So there are certain things that it's just like Junkanoo is a part of the culture of the Bahamas, et cetera, et cetera. There are certain things that are cultural to us. There are certain things that are cultural to Africa that somebody may not necessarily sit down and say, oh, let's take another look at that. Can you really classify that as cultural, or let's take that to a spiritual level? And I think that certain things happened, and everything happened so quickly that I can't blame Pastor Ross or Bishop Ross. I can't blame him. I can't put any blame on him. He came in the picture. He allowed us. He graced us and allowed us to come and be married at his church. I think some other. I just think things were really handled poorly.
Give me specifics. Is something you want to say, and say it. This is your chance.
I love Bahamas Faith Ministries. I love Dr. Miles, and I love the pastors at that ministry. But I just honestly, and whether that was because of their relationship with Francois or whatever it was, I believed I was their daughter, not Francois. Francois was the outsider. I was the person who needed to be protected. It didn't matter if you thought I was being rebellious or not. You knew enough. You knew more about whatever it was than I did.